Thank God it's Friday. Welcome back to the No Comfort Zone. This is Dan. Today we're talking about the journey. Hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
The journey of personal growth. So here it is. It's Friday and I'm on my way in my journey. I want you to understand something. The point of view that I'm coming from is nothing more than this. I want to help you in your journey. I want you to go from point A, where you're currently at right now, and I want you to go to point B. And then I want you to tell the world your story. I want you to put that out there. Because everybody at some time in their life is going to hit some adversity. They're going to go through some challenging times. And there's a solution there to become a better version of yourself. Because more challenging times are coming. And in your journey in life, it's to learn from those previous mistakes, those poor decisions, those bad situations that you were in, and realize that those happen for a reason. And when you can put some gratitude into your problems and realize that you were there to solve those problems, man, does that make you feel so much better, and it makes you feel so much more alive in your journey in this thing called life. See, I didn't figure that out for the longest time. I was the guy who I was going after my goals with no real purpose. I just wanted to achieve. And in the end, I didn't manage my money right, didn't manage my emotions right, didn't manage my relationships right, didn't have really any boundaries in place. I was always trying to please everyone. And in the end, I lost hope, lost faith in me and everything else. And world came crashing down. And then, as you've known, if you listen to this podcast for a little bit, I was that guy that was broke, completely broke and broken. I was the guy that was completely combed out, literally. I was the guy that was overdosed. I was the guy that was addicted. I was the guy that was just in the worst physically, emotional, spiritual shape you could think of, and had no reason to move on. I just gave up. All of this achievement, and I get to a point with no purpose, and I realize, you know what? It's just not worth it anymore to move on. But then my reality check hit me. Something inside of me, the support of my mother, the support of my friends, the thought of my kids, put me in a place where, you know, if the attempt to exit this life didn't work out, well, then maybe I should be here for a reason. And what is that reason? I knew I didn't want to do drugs or alcohol anymore of any kind. And I did know that I wanted to become emotionally stable. And I also knew I wanted, in some part of me, just to, at this point, see if I could make it for another day. And one day turned into the next, and my journey began. And as that journey began, I learned more and more about myself. I learned in my life that I have taken the easy way out. I learned that I wasn't as tough or as strong as I thought I was. So I decided to make myself a little bit more uncomfortable so I can build that toughness inside of me. I used little things in my life to become uncomfortable along the way. And the more I did it, the more I realized that, you know what, I am worthy, I am worthwhile, and I believe that you are too. That's why I do this podcast. That's why I talk about the journey. That's why I'm here to help you go from point A to point B. And if you're interested in your journey and you need help along the way, that's what I'm here for. Go to launchwithdan.com and get on my calendar. It's what I do. It's my contribution. I help people go from point A to point B. I help people get out of their current stuck comfort zone, pull them out of it, use the adversity that they've been faced with as a stepping stone towards their future success. And if you're thinking, how do I get out where I'm at right now? It's overwhelming. I've got a lot of situations that are happening all at once, and I'm not feeling too great about where I'm at in my life. You need to go to launchwithdan.com. Let me help you go from point A to point B. Get on my calendar and I'll call you. We'll talk about how things are, and at the end of it, what I'm going to do is go over my blueprint with you. I'm going to send it to you, and it's going to be your game plan on how you're going to become successful and get out of your adversity at the same time. It worked for me, it worked for others, and I know for sure it's going to work for you. But in this journey, here we are, we find ourselves that we kind of get distracted. We're kind of obligated to so many different things in our life, and we realize that we get to a point and we're like, is this all there is? Some people might call it the middle age crisis. I just call it a life crisis because I've gone through this multiple times. I've gone through it in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, my 40s. And finally, at the end of my 40s, I figured out something. I figured out that I'm on this planet for one reason. Make better choices through the problems that I've actually had before, from the poor decisions I've made and the situations I got myself in. Learn what that was all about. And I dissected it. I biohacked it. I looked at every reason why I did what I did, and I realized so much about myself. And then I looked at that pattern, and I saw that pattern in so many other people. And I finally got to a point where I realized what I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself out of this adversity. I am going to become successful in the direction that I want to go with intention, on the purpose of helping as many people as I can along the way. It's working pretty good so far. And I want you to be a part of that. And in doing so, I've realized that I have fulfillment now. There's success and there's physical things that come along with that, but I have fulfillment in my life now. And fulfillment is probably the greatest accomplishment that I could have, is I'm living in my purpose. And you should do the same. And believe you me, those problems and situations that you got yourself into that you think are overwhelming, there are so many ways out of it. You just got to get to that starting line. And if you feel like getting to the starting line, I'll tell you again, go to launchwithdan.com. Where do I start? You just got to get to that starting line. After the phone call, the gun will go off, and it's your time to make shit happen. Can't put it any more simple than that. You're going to make it happen. You're going to become successful, and success is something you're going to own. You're going to live in achievement. You're going to live in accomplishment, and you're going to do that by enjoying this journey, this crazy thing that we're in called life. You got to face it. When you get to a point in your life and you just look at everything and it's so overwhelming, you don't even know where to begin. Kind of like it's, as a kid, I was a messy kid. And as a messy kid, you get that room and it's all just, I was fortunate enough to have a room, to have a bed, have my own room within a house. My dad ended up building it for me in the basement, which was kind of nice. But, I was a kid and I made it real messy and my stuff was all over the place. And there, every now and again, it came to that moment where you get that feeling, that vibe where you just got to clean things up and you want to straighten things out. So you just dig into it. You might start by just, making your bed. You might start by doing your laundry. You might start by getting things off the floor or cleaning things off the wall, organizing your bookshelves, and doing all of these things. So you get to a point, you start to feel good, and then you get that inertia. You're like, you get that momentum, and you're like, I feel great about this. When it's all done, you could sit back and look in enjoyment at your accomplishment. Same thing as simple as cutting a lawn. Same thing as simple as cleaning the kitchen. I'm not talking about like having a cleaning service. I'm talking about doing the work yourself. As you know, I'm in the business of selling cars and managing car dealerships. And I've seen it time and time again where I've seen so many people after their car that they've had for 4 or 5 years that they can't wait to get rid of. They wash it up, they clean it up, they put some maintenance into it, put new tires on it, and they love their car again. It's kind of like your life. You got to work at it. You got to clean it up. You got to pay attention to it. You got to become aware of what's going on. And what ends up happening at that moment is when you get all things ready to go, you look back and you're like, oh, okay, life is pretty good. Now you've got some gratitude. Now you're in a space and you look at it. Let's go from the car situation, go to your life. When you're in your life and you realize that I'm going to spend some time in personal growth or personal development, I am going to work on myself. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 2.5 hours a day, whatever it is for you. And I'm going to apply those principles in my life and interaction. I'm literally going to go out and actually engage with other people and practice these principles that I'm learning in personal growth wherever you find them. Whether it's go to launchwithdan.com and we have a conversation and you have my blueprint, or you watch my videos, or you're in my Facebook, Team No Comfort Zone, whatever it is for you. Or we have an email conversation, dan@thenocomfortzone. Whatever I can do for you to help you in this journey, it's my goal for you to get out of adversity. Use those principles to catapult you towards the success that you know you should have. I'm willing to work with you. Hope you're willing to work with me. Reach out to me. Let me know. And also, today is the day on this Friday in this journey of life. Today is definitely the day. Try it. Get out of your comfort zone and start living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.